So right now there is actually like a cold front going all directions across the United States right now, and I am outside talking about board games, as I'm sure you can see my breath. Okay, so the Crusades were bad, and when I say that to people, they say, "Well, Pete, which Crusades?" And I say, "All of them, really." And yes, it's taught in different ways in different history classes, but basically it boils down to this. It boils down to a bunch of Western European nations being jerks and trying to screw things up for everybody else in the name of religion. It's really easy to justify anything and everything you do when you're doing it in the name of the Almighty. It's a problem. It's a problem. I'm not the first one to say it. Won't be the last one to say it. But as long as we're not actually needlessly riding out and slaughtering people, because again, bad, we can play games. First, computer games, and now board games of Crusader Kings, which is actually came out a few years ago, 2019. But I love it. I actually filmed this unboxing some time ago. And actually want to put it online because I love this game just so much. So, let's go to the table and actually see what is in this big old box. Alright, here we have the Crusader Kings board game. And nice setup on the back here of what it will look like on the table. So let's open this up. Maybe. There we go. All right. So, box top. And, oh, that's very nice. Get 90% off Crusader Kings 2 for PC, plus the Pagan Fury EP DLC for free. And there's my code right there. If anyone wants to take it, feel free, because I don't play it on the computer game. Okay, first come, first serve. Now we have the board game and a very nice illustrated itemized components list. Setup, ooh, lots of text. Sequence of play, lots and lots of text here. General rules, actions. Special actions. Realm cards. Build, develop, plot, overthrow. I like it. The tax cards. Invade. Achievements. Events. Game concepts. Solo and two-player mode. Okay, so the general mode ends in the middle of page 21 with tons of text. Then we have solo and two-player mode. Then we have AI strategies. Scenarios, six scenarios it comes with, and ends on page 34. So you don't obviously have to read all of this before you play, but it is very text heavy, so it's going to take a while for you to get through that rule book. Next we're here with the game board, and so I'm going to move the coffee and this out of the way, and open up this board, and it is a 6-fold board, which is single-sided, and let's see if I can make this work. So you can't quite see the whole board. I apologize for that, but there's the top edge, and then there's the bottom edge, and there's the side. So you can see almost all of it. You get the idea. So you have the map of Western Europe in the center here, and then you have this track here, and then you have places for different types of cards right here. So action card stack for Realm, Intrigue, and War, and then you have action card stack for tax, action card stack for Crusade, and then you have development places for development cards right here. All right, the board is a little bit drab in the center, but that's okay. Next, we are hit with 5, no less than 5 punch boards. And you see here, everything is printed on both sides. And these punch out, well, these tokens are actually a little bit hard to punch out. So you definitely want to punch them out slowly and with care so as not to tear any of the tokens. And they're a little bit messy on the edge. You can see, you see some of this mess. You might want to take an X-Acto knife to it to clean up some of these edges. It's up to you, obviously. Definitely could punch out more cleanly, but ultimately not a big deal. So I'm just going to show each of these boards. So lots of traits here: humble, pious, temperate, generous, genius, shrewd, gardener. You get the idea, which are positive traits in the game. And then you have some negative traits: ambitious, coward, cruel, deceitful, so on and so forth. And you also have all these kind of flag, heraldic shields, and things like that. Again, printed double-sided. That's punch board 3, punch board 4. I think I said 5 punch boards. I think there are 6 actually. More of the same type of thing. We have some gold coins, it looks like. Illiterate, drunkard, weak. And you'll see here that some of these have silver borders and some have gold borders. That clearly means something. And then here we have some larger tokens. So first player, Crusader, Inventor, Builder, King of Jerusalem here. And then we have sibling 1, sibling 2, child, different child and sibling tokens as well. So yes, this game has a bunch of fiddly bits, and it's trying to be a game at the macro level in terms of sweeping over all of Europe and taking over things and influencing things with armies, and then you have the micro level with different houses and factions and rulers having to contend with the mental illness and physical illness and just difficulty of their own families. And what's great about this is this rings so true throughout history, right? Empires would rise and fall due to what was going on with individual families and inbreeding and things like that. And this game, in all of its fiddly glory, or whatever, really captures that. And that's the true beauty of Crusader Kings, even though it is a bit fiddly. All right, so now we are hit with tons and tons of minis. So let's get into that. We're going to put we're nowhere close to done here, folks. We've got tons more to explore. I'm going to put this to the side, and I'm going to check out some minis. You can see, very nice, got the Crusader Kings right there. All right, so you can see here you get 8 kind of knights, and the sculpts are different. So, I mean, for each color, the sculpts are very slightly different. And so if we hold up, might be better with the black tray background. You see both sides. There's a yellow one. You get 8 of those. Green. And these are big. You can see there. These are probably 1.5 inches tall. And we have the red. So 8 of each of those. And then here, you can see we have 8 of these blue, and oh, this guy's got his sword up. And be a little careful here because this sword is a little bit flimsy. We'll make sure it doesn't break off. Should be okay. And then we get 8. There, yes, you can see 7 here, and then there's one more down here. And again, this guy's got kind of flimsy mace, so just be careful that that doesn't break off. Okay. So then we have, we'll get to these guys in a minute. We have, looks like 10 castles. All the same sculpt, it looks like. And then you have you get 4 in each color of the different infantrymen or knights on foot, or what you call those. And you can see them pretty well in the tray. Maybe better than you can in my hand, but it gives you an idea there. So tons and tons of miniatures. But like I said, we're nowhere close to done. We still have a lot to explore here. So we have come on now. Wow, quite thick. All of these cards right here to take a look at, which we'll look at the end. But in this bag, we have, where to start? So it looks like we have 5 player boards, player sheets that are printed on the single side. They fold out, and you can see politics, and then you have places for development cards and what's going on in the royal family, and culture character card stack. So lots of places to develop your own power and your own royal family here. I think that all of these start out identical. Yeah, they do. And these aren't, these are, kind of flimsy, not flimsy, but, they're not thick cardboard. They are poster board. And there might not need to be thick poster board. It would have been nice. I mean, thick cardboard. Hopefully when you play these cards down, they don't slide around too much. This is definitely where they cut some costs, though. They have all these nice tokens, all these nice miniatures, and the player boards are like, here's where we're going to put the profit margin. Fine, that's fine. And then we have bags. Now, I've said many times, I'm not a big fan of bags in board games because I think they slow the game down, and my hands are big. But this bag is not too bad to reach into, no problem there. Got a gold bag, and then you have 5 slightly smaller bags in each of the player colors that are all the same size, and as you can see, they are smaller than the larger gold bag. And these bags are not too bad. Again, they're kind of small, but they're not too. They're a little bit narrow for my hand, but they're not too deep, so I can still get my hand in there. Again, not my favorite component, definitely not my favorite board game component, and they lead to things that are definitely not my favorite mechanics, but I will give it a try. And then below this, we have just an empty box. A nice storage solution for the cards right here. Beyond that, you got the storage solution for the miniatures, you already saw that, so let's put this to the side. And then here, we have player aids, which are double-sided, so you get 5, 1 for each player. And so I'll show both sides of the player aid. Based on all those rules we saw earlier, this is definitely something that players are going to want and need. But sequence of play and actions right there. So this is really nice. And then here, whatever these are single-sided, you can see that. We have houses. So it looks like You can play, let's see, how many of these are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different houses you can play. And I'm going to separate them out by color. Maybe that's not what makes sense, because you have, maybe they all have their different banners. I'm not sure if this matters or not, but I will show you don't get equal amounts again. So you have 3 in black, 3 in red, 4 in green, 2 in gold, and 1 in blue. So pick up the blue one here. So it just gives a little bit of history here. There's something called the third race of kings. And not sure, this might just be for flavor text. It doesn't look like these add any sort of variable player powers, excuse me. You can see here, these are all English, these are all Germanic, okay, Frankish, Iberian, and Italian. So that's what the different colors are for. We'll have to see if these are just kind of a flavor or something else when we read the rules, but there you go. Now we have these 3 decks of cards. So I'm going to take a minute to open all of these up. Maybe. Okay, so let's do the mini cards first. So we have a whole bunch of development cards and a whole bunch of Italian character cards. Okay, so we have character cards for the different peoples and areas. Be interesting to see if those are the same or different. They could be divided for either reason. Okay. So if we look at the develop cards, I'm not going to show all of these. I'm just going to give a general overview of them. Okay, so these are just, yeah, I have to figure out what these characters do. Some have icons on them, some do not. You get the idea there. They're going to be more the same here. And then we have these cards. We have action cards, lots of action cards, lots of action cards. And these are all action cards, and they all have the same back. Okay. So tons and tons of action cards. Put them all together. You have probably close to 100, maybe more. Again, I'm going to go through these pretty quickly. You can pause if you want to see. Child is born. Lots of text on these cards. Some child is born, lots of overlap, lots of children. So many children. So many children. Tax cards. Wasteland, flood, brokenhearted, nocturnal behavior, haunted ruler, royal insult, insane king, demon child, a quiet year, death by childbirth, desertion, drought, seasoned advisor, words of wisdom, the art of love. Okay, this one we're going to read. Your heir to the throne is influenced by one of the court's pleasure givers. The child gets the lustful trait in addition to any other traits. Okay. Bad omen, king killed. Lots of bad things happening here. more children being born, theater troupe, complicated birth. So you're getting the themes here of natural disasters killing people, lots of children being born, children dying, and people making bad decisions. Just like life, the Black Plague, cute. Heretic, divine intervention, child falls ill, shipwreck, fire. And that is everything that comes in the board game of Crusader Kings. So that's really it for me on the unboxing of Crusader Kings. I'm going to head back inside before I suffer any more exposure to the elements, because I don't want to die, as I'm sure many of those who fought in the Crusades did die to exposure, as well as to many other elements other than the sword. So, on that cheery note, on December 24th, I hope everyone has a happy and safe and loving and warm holiday in whatever way you celebrate or don't, around the tree or not, with family and friends or not, with fur babies or not. I hope everyone has a great holiday season, and I will see you soon.